Today we're going to make mini top hat fascinators. The first thing you're going to do is print off the pattern pieces at our website, which is asc701.org. You're going to print off the hat side, the hat brim, and the hat top. And you'll use your portrait setting on your printer for that. The equipment that we're going to use for this are the pattern pieces. You can use some used file folders. It's a great way to recycle. You're going to need about a ½ yard of felt yardage, not the little squares. Great scissors. Our favorite 77 glue, because it makes things nice and smooth. Hot glue. And we have some 1.5-inch ribbon, a nice stiff ribbon for the inside of the hat, and some elastic. All of these pieces that we sprayed on using this wonderful glue, the glue works very well, but it has to be in a ventilated spot. So we went outside, sprayed all these things, and sprayed our felt outside, and then brought it indoors. We printed off the pattern pieces, glued it to our file folder, and we're going to cut the pieces out. Our pattern is going to act both as a stiffener in making the hat and also guide the process. So the places that are gray are going to get cut out. And we need to cut the center out on this hat brim. So I'm going to poke a hole, and then I'm going to take a really good scissor, and I want to cut out the gray part in the middle, because this is going to be part of our pattern. We're going to trace our pattern onto the felt. Now here I've got 2 layers because I need 2 pieces cut from the felt. So I'm going to trace this. And I'm going to trace that middle hole. And I'm going to cut it out. Now I have one that is already cut out, and I'm going to cut out the middle of the hat brim. So I've drawn that oval. So you can see I just made my way into the center of that circle. And I'm going to cut out the middle. There are 2 hat brims, so I'm going to do it on both of them. The file folder is acting like a stiffener. So for example, on the hat brim, we're going to create a sandwich, and it'll be felt, stiffener, and felt. In order to prepare that, we've cut the 2 holes in the felt. And remember, we took out that gray circle in order for it to act like a pattern. Now we're going to go back, and we're going to cut out the rest of this, only on the stiffener. And we're going to trim away the outer gray edge, because we need that a little bit smaller. So you can see we've used it as a pattern, and now we're also going to use it as the stiffener inside the hat. Now, on these pieces, we've already sprayed it with glue. So this is the sticky side. We're going to center the stiffener. This side's sticky. So we've made an Oreo sandwich. We're going to now prepare the hat side. Any of these gray areas indicate that we're going to cut that away. Because remember, this is going to be both a stiffener, and we already used it as our pattern. This pattern piece was done on the fold. This piece we already sprayed with the glue, so we're able now to just put the felt to So we've glued our pattern piece to the curved edge. And because this already has glue on it, we're going to be able to just fold it over and make a smooth edge. Now we're going to prepare the hat top. So we have the glue side up on our felt. The pattern piece goes down, smooth it. And we're going to prepare the hat brim and the hat top by doing what's called clipping the curves. Now for those of you who are pro sewers, you'll already know what we're talking about. But you can see how as soon as we clip this, it makes us able to do a circle. We're going to do the same thing here and clip the curves on our hat brim. That's why we had cut away the file folder so that this is soft and it's not stiff. So we'll clip the curves. We're going to really be shaping things now, and where this curve was clipped into the solid line, we're going to bend these corners up so that we start to create something that's 3D. And all I'm doing is bending along that line and then shaping it to get a nice, neat oval, but that has a side edge on it. Now we're going to work on the hat side. We cut it out, we turned the edge. I'm just shaping it. I want to kind of get rid of that heavy crease and want something that has a curve to it. And I'm going to just tack this bottom part with hot glue as I shape the hat side. So we want to get a pretty good idea that our hat side is going to fit to the hat brim. So when I glued this, it gave this some shape. Remember, these curves are clipped. So I'm going to line these up, and is it a pretty good fit? Yep, it's a pretty good fit on the two long ends, but I'm going to come along and put a couple more slits in on the side here, because the next step is going to be gluing the two together. And we're going to use this fringe to glue to the inside of the hat side. We're going to glue the hat side to the hat brim. So I'm just running about 2 inches of hot glue on one of the long ends. And I'm going to tuck that fringe up onto the hot glue. You can see we've got one side attached. I'm going to do the same thing now at the other short end. I need a little bit better fit in here because I want this to tuck up on the side, so I'm going to just trim that slit back a little bit more on each side. You can tell that this really gets very sculptural at this point. Add my glue and tuck that fringe. We're now going to attach the hat top to the hat. So you can see it's going to fit like so. I'm going to start at the front. I'm going to run that little bead of glue, and I want to very tightly glue like so. And then we're going to just glue it back. I want to make a nice even trim around the hat brim. We want to be able to have a way to attach the hat to the person wearing it. So we're just going to make little elastic loops, hot gluing it, putting a bead on there. I'm going to tuck that down inside the hat and do another one for the other side. We're going to add the hat band and bow. So we've cut a piece of about 14 inches of ribbon. If you cut it longer, you can always make it shorter. Now I'm actually tucking it down because when I add the bow, I want this part sitting a little bit lower. To make the bow, I'm going to cross, and I guess that's about 6 inches. So loop these in the middle. What I want to do is have a pretty finish. So to make that, I've just taken a piece of ribbon. This one's about 3 inches long. And I'm going to fold it into thirds. Just run a little bead of glue along here so I have this pretty middle to the ribbon. So I want it like so. I've taken that middle around to the back. Some glue. So we're going to just trim the ribbon because we want a pretty finish on it. And you can either leave the fascinator like this, or here we've added a little light up flourish with some sparklies. This is a felt light up brooch. You could see would be really cute, but since Halloween is approaching, we're going to finish this one off with a lightning.